We have two robes on display here at Actors Equity in New York. There's one on display in the Orlando office and one in the Chicago office. And then we have donated robes, two to the Smithsonian, two to the Museum of the City of New York, and two to the Lincoln Center Library. The rest of the robes, which at this time totals about 19, we keep in a room here at Actors Equity for safekeeping. The 82-83 robe, which is down in the audition center, has the original Cats panel, it has On Your Toes, and the revival of Mame. We have all different types of panels. They either go for just recreating the logo of the show, or even all the way up to more elaborate. Christmas Story has the famous leg lamp in the show, and so for their design they chose to recreate the leg lamp and even electrify it. Bring It On. They did a great panel. They're nice, durable plastic pom-poms. They created the two teams of cheerleaders, their colors, and then they signed them in between the pleats, which makes it very special. The robe goes to the person in a Broadway chorus musical who has the most previous Broadway credits, chorus credits. They have to be chorus credits. We also always like to have the recipient featured on the robe so that everyone can look back and see who received the robe for that show. There was an actor, his name was Bill Bradley, who was in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and he borrowed a dressing gown from one of the chorus girls. Her name was Florence Baum, and he delivered it to a friend of his that was opening in Call Me Madam, and told him that it had been worn by all the Ziegfeld beauties and it would bless their show. And then that person found a cabbage rose that had fallen off of one of Ethel Merman's gowns, and he sewed it onto the robe and passed it on to Guys and Dolls, which was the next show that opened. And that started the whole tradition. This was 9 to 5, which was a great idea to do Post-its. And sometimes they will create just by using the playbill cover. What a show does is mark off their spot, and then when their panel is ready, we take the robe back to them and they put it onto the robe. Ragtime is a rendering of the set. This was totally done by the recipient. He didn't have any help from the wardrobe department. He did this all himself. This was the revival of La Cage aux Folles, one of the Cagel's costumes. Yeah, to Dale Hensley. When it first started, it was just literally taken and handed backstage to the person. There was not a ceremony on the stage. Those gorgeous panels. It was Finian's Rainbow. These are all individual ribbons put together. Finian's Rainbow was Lisa Gaja. Lisa is like our record holder for the most, to receiving it the most number of times. This is the Addams family. Made the family gravestone. They decided to include Thing. The Gypsy Robe ceremony is a private moment. The general public is not allowed into the theater. It's a moment for the cast. This was Fela. And this also, Fela was also created solely by cast members. This is Memphis, which was all done on vinyl. We have Rock of Ages, which went to Andre Ward, on leather, imitation snakeskin. What started out as sort of a joke between a couple of dancers on Broadway has now grown into one of the most cherished backstage traditions that we have today. To be part of that is just a really special honor.